Hi guys, welcome back to the third and final video for this week. I've been talking about the lumbar spine and postures you should use when you want to lift heavy items. And in this video, I just wanted to talk a little bit about the lumbar spine, right? And just bring to light the idea that you really want to be taking care of it. Your disc herniations or popping of discs often occur in the lumbar spine, right? And I spoke about just the actions that happen, when you kind of herniate a disc and what positions you're most likely in, right? And then just, another thing is really when we talk about disc, I want us to remember that, we need to move. We were created to move. Your disc actually gets nutrition through movement, right? And so you really just want to be making sure that you are still taking your breaks when you're sitting, really because, we've spoken about just how bad it is when it comes to like your ligaments, your muscles, your discs, right? So you want to be taking your breaks. The other thing that you want to do is just make sure that all members of your team are actually doing their work. And I'm sure you know what it feels like to be a part of a 6-man team and only 2 people are doing the work and you're probably one of the 2. And it's just really frustrating, right? And it could be a lot more efficient if everyone was doing their part. And it's the same with your body, right? When we're looking at the biomechanics of our body, you want to look at, is every member of my team, is the core working as well as the lumbar spine? And just like a team, if the core is not doing its job, the lumbar spine has to take up more load, right? And then we start getting dysfunction where the muscles get fatigued, and then we've got trigger points forming in the muscles, and the trigger points get so bad that eventually we start having referral pain, toxin buildup, inflammation. And so really you just want to be making sure that your core is working well. You pull that belly button in and up so that you activate that transverse abdominis muscle that also braces the back, which is great, right? The other thing that you want to do is really look at your hamstrings. If your hamstrings are really tight or if your glutes aren't activating properly, guess who has to take on the load? The lumbar spine, right? So you just want to make sure that you've got everything working. So you can, if you're struggling with back pain, obviously go and check with your healthcare provider, right? You want to make sure that you have been diagnosed correctly, and then you can start your rehab process. Now, when we're looking at the rehab process, are we going to look at, if you're sitting for long periods of time, is your iliopsoas or are your iliopsoas muscles tight? And if they are, maybe we start doing some stretching, right? Because the main action of the iliopsoas is to bring you into flexion, to make you sit. So an extension is going to be great to release that. So you just kind of come in and you do like a lunge and lift your arm up. You can use the wall for support. And that's just going to help release the iliopsoas, which just means that it can help a little bit more with the lumbar spine, right? And in terms of that teamwork, in terms of your glutes, you can start doing glute bridges. I do have a video up on lower back pain, and it was just kind of a stretch video to show you little things that I like to do when I'm struggling with back pain. You can do your glute bridges, you can stretch your hamstrings. And the other thing is also you really want to make sure that your mid back is actually working and moving correctly. Now that oftentimes doesn't happen when we find ourselves in the computer position, the round shoulder positions. We're jamming our facets and the muscles are getting tighter and tighter and tighter. So our thoracic spine isn't moving as well as it should be. Now the problem with that is, once again, someone has to take the load, and it's probably going to be your neck, and it's probably going to be your lower back or your lumbar spine, right? So you just want to make sure that you are seeing your chiropractor regularly so that you can make sure your joints are moving properly, make sure your muscles are functioning correctly, right? And if there's any sort of dysfunction, you can fix the dysfunction before it becomes back pain, right? Now, just remembering that, like in the first video, I spoke about lumbago, which is an acute, so it's just come on, it's just happened. Oftentimes, these rehab processes that I'm talking about now are things that you'll kind of do if you've been struggling with chronic back pain for a really long time, right? And then just really why we're doing this is because we really, one, I'm always talking about a great quality life. You don't have that when you've got back pain. You're not productive, you're not present, you are struggling with pain. It's just not, the life that you want to live. The other thing is that we are in control of our posture. Posture is a habit, right? So kind of making sure your core is in correctly, is activated correctly, making sure you're activating your glutes and holding proper postures, right? And then the other thing is you want to protect things in your lumbar spine. So you want to protect your disc. You want to make sure that your discs are healthy. You want to make sure that your facets are moving properly, because when they're not moving, you get dysfunction, inflammation, and then degeneration. And so often you kind of hear people go, yeah, I've got spinal degeneration. No, well, listen, degeneration oftentimes, and if it's not a trauma situation, degeneration from bad posture it's about micro injury all the time. So if you're sitting in these bad postures, you're actually hurting yourself overs and overs and overs again, and eventually it's going to degenerate, right? So I just want you to be conscious of this, right? Protect your body, make sure all your members of your team are working together. I hope that this helps you. Have a beautiful week, and I will see you soon. Bye.